Hi guys, welcome back. My name is Ajay. Today we will discuss
how to actually create the move up and move down buttons in the list box, right? In this part number one, we're going to talk about the move up, how to write the code in the Excel VB list box. And this is going to be super advanced levels. We're going to have great fun here that you can use this option in your real-time projects, right? Now in this today the project, the real-time project, what I'm going to show you when you click on the list box, when you select, let's say VB, how you can make this up. Look at this, guys. It's moving up, right? Now nothing is happening because it is already on the top. Now this is extremely very useful, not just from the perspective that if you want to use these options, but also it is going to give you some education on the arrays and also a couple of very important properties related to the list box, right? So we will go and talk about the up option. In my next video we will talk about the down option as well. Now how we got the list box series, this is very the basic thing, but still I'll just quickly tell you how we have done it. So guys, I have put the entire thing in the Excel, as you can see here, A1 to A6. Now what we have done, if I take you to the Visual Basic Programming, now here this is the form which we have created. So if you just right click and go to the view code of this, now we have said, look at this initialized event. So in the initialized event, I said that the list box one, this is my list box name, dot row source, it's coming from my sheet 1 A1 to A6. Now this is what we call it actually a property which let you actually fill the values you want from the Excel. So you just write like this, the list box, the name of the list box, then dot row source equals to the sheet name with the sign of exclamation, as you can see here, and the read. Now why I have written this in the initialize, obviously because this is the first event which will run. So the moment you click on this, you'll find that initialize event runs before even the form appears in front of you, and you have all the values coming here. Now what we are supposed to do is, so let's go to this move up button. I double click here, and this is the code which I'm going to explain you, right? This looks little, kind of lengthy code, scary code, but it is actually not. I'll try to make it very simple for you so that you can understand it. I'll put the break code over here. Now, before I start explaining this code, I want to tell you what is the idea. Now, the thing is, when the user clicks here and he clicks on the up, so what we will do is we will store all these values, all these numbers in the array. So let's say we create the array called my array. When you select this and when you click on the up, first of all, what we will do, we will calculate how many items we have got in this list box, and then we will store them in the array. So your array will be formed with having index number 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So array will have the 6 items because array starts with 0 by default, and we will fill that array. Now, once we have these values stored somewhere, which is actually in the array, then what we will do, we will check that what is the position number of the current selection which user has selected. Now, in this case, it may look like, that it is the third index. It is the third position which I have selected, but it is not. It is actually second, because in the list box, the first item has a 0 index, guys. Remember this point, right? I talked about this in those basic videos also. So basically what we are saying that the index now 0, 1, 2, 2 has to be 1 and the 1 has to be 2. So that is what we're gonna do, right? That's it. And then once we have done that, we will reset this A1 to A6 according to that. So A1 to A6 will be shuffled, it will be updated with that change, and then finally when this has been updated, this will automatically start reflecting that the list, because it's coming from A1 to A6. That is the idea. So let's go and click on the up, and there we go. So I have already put this array in the watch windows because we want to take the help of this. Now guys, look at this. This is my me.listbox.listCount. List count, if you have followed my channel, listbox actually gives me the number of items which are a part of the list box. So now you can see that if you look at this user form, it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 items, right? But as I said, that list box actually starts with the first index is 0. So what we will do, we will subtract -1 from it, right? Right now we are just calculating how many items we have. We have got the item 6, which is correct. Now you see that I have declared this my array, which is right now showing empty. The moment you rename it, rename means we are resizing it, because now we know what array size has to be, because we got the number of items 6. So what I do is I subtract -1 from it. So now this is going to work from 0 to 5. So when you do that 0 to 5, what do you mean by that? Basically, you're saying that your array will start from 0 and it is going to stop at 5th index. So when I run this line, you see the plus sign is coming here. So now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All the indexes are coming. Now the time has come to fill these arrays. So that's why I'm saying that for I equals to 0 to the upper bound. Upper bound is a function in arrays which let us know the highest index of the array. Right now in this case it is 5. So this loop is going to work, guys, 0 to 5 times. And now what I will do, I will simply say that the 0 index of my array, it should be equals to what? It should be equals to my listbox1 dot list, and then in the brackets I have written the index, which is I. So basically this is going to take the value from the list box having the 0 index, and you know that in the 0 index my value is actually VBA. So me dot listbox1, listbox1 is my name of my list box, right? In your case, whatever you write, that will come. Dot list I, this is basically the property which we are using here. So this is going to fill up here. So the moment I run this, you see that this loop will run for 5 times, right? Because we got to fill all these positions, and this I, because it is changing, so you will have all these items coming here, right? So we are storing these values here so that we can change. Now, this I already said in the beginning also. Now, this is something which I have learned recently. I want to share it with you. If you ever want to check that what is the current selection, which in this case is very important, we want to check that what the user has selected, because if you do not know what he has selected or what she has selected, how you're going to give the movement in the upward direction, isn't it? So I'm writing here, I created here current index variable, and that current index is going to check that what is the position of that item, what is the index of that item which I have selected. So right now I'm using me.listbox1.list index. So if you look at this, list index is going to give you the 2 starting from 0, right? So access VB is on the index number 2. So this is now captured in this index number 2, right? Now guys, this current index equals to 0, then exit. You see that I'm saying that if the current index is 0, then please don't run the macro, immediately exit from it. You know why we have written this? This is very important line, because if I select VBA and I click on the move up, it doesn't make any sense because VBA is already on the top. So if the VBA is going to be on the top, that means it cannot be moved, and that means that any item which has a 0 index, that we cannot move it. So that's why after finding the current index, we are putting a condition that if the current index is going to be 0, which means that the item is going to be on the top, immediately exit from it. Right now current index is obviously it's not the 0, so we go further and it should not exit from the macro. Now here comes the very important part, guys. Look at this now. Now what we are saying, as I was telling you now what you need to do is you need to put this access VBA in place of PHP and PHP in place of access VBA. We want to, interchange them, right? So how are you going to do that? Well, what you will do is you already found the current index, right? The current index, the position which we have selected and which we need to move up. So here what we will do, we will say that in the array now, because array and the list boxes are in the same order. If you look at this my array 0, it is VBA. And if you look at the list box index 0, it is also VBA. If you look at the list box index 1, it is PHP, and the my array 1 is also PHP. And why not? They are going to be same, obviously, because this is coming from this, we basically exported all the values from the user form to the array. So obviously they will be same, right? Now this is what we are saying. This is what the catch. Now this is a very important part. Now we are saying that once I have found the index, which is actually in this case 2, so that means this is the 2, right? Now we want to put this value up. So what I'm going to do, because before 2, the number is going to be 1, so I'm subtracting -1 from it. So 2 minus 1 will make it 1. So we are saying that the index number of my array 1 should be equals to the value which is available in the list box on the same index, guys. So we are saying that this 2 minus 1, which makes it 1, this my array 1 should be now equals to this value, which is the current value. So that's why I put here the listbox1.list current index, right? So now here we are using another property, which is list box dot list, and when you start the bracket, this is called the index number, right? So this is the same list which we are using, here, dot list, and when you start the bracket, it is actually, it tells us that which value is there, right? So now we're going to put this axis VBA in the index number 2 minus 1, so which is 1. So when I run this, you please have a look here. Look at this. It is changed to the axis VBA. Now, the value which you were holding, before replacing this axis VBA, which was PHP, now that's going to be, coming in the second index. So now what we are saying? Now we are saying that now the current index, which is 2, which is actually the index, that now should be equals to my current index minus 1 of my list box, which means what is your current index? You selected the current index, as the item which you have selected, right? So we are saying that the item which we have selected, just minus 1 format and go to that value from the list box and put that over here. So basically we are saying that now the my array 2, which is this one showing axis VB, it should be equals to the current index minus 1, which is just the above of, the item is selected. So when you're going to run this, you have the my array 2 as PHP. Now, once we have done all the shuffling, now we will go and use these array values over here because we want to replace this in the Excel cells as well. So now I'm saying that please run this from 0 to 5. Now, I already know that I have got only the, the 5 items here, basically 6, but because we start with 0, so this is going to be 5. But you can make this dynamic also. I mean, you can simply write there, the list box dot list as well, or you can use this, the list count, or maybe you can use you can find out the last row as well using the range a 1000 or 10,000 dot in Excel command, right? That's all up to you. So right now we're going to work here. So this loop will start working. So what we are seeing that on the row number 1, 0 plus 1 and the corner 1, the value which we need is that's going to come from the my array 0, which is the value called, the VBA. So we will have this even as VBA, which is already there. So you won't find any difference. But then as I keep on running here, keep your eye over here. Look at this axis VBA. The moment this is axis VBA, this is also changed to axis VBA. So we will have this Excel now coming as PHP because basically these values are, being exported here in this Excel cell, right? That's what we are doing. That's it. So once you have done with that, guys, your loop is done, right? So now, so let me reset the code and let me now again click on this. Now, let's say I want to move up. So I want to show you, look at this now. So when you run this, again, the same process will run. You will have this array getting filled. So first of all, we are, filling the array with all my values, which are available in my list box. So this is again kind of, revision. So we will quickly run this and you can see the array is filling up. Once we have filled up the array, we will use it now, right? So this is kind of a parking slot for you where you're parking your vehicle and you're changing your vehicle from 4-wheeler to 2-wheeler, sort of that, right? That's why we need the array to store these values before we go and change them. Now, we want to find the current index. You already know that the current index is going to come from listbox.list index, which is 0. Now, guys, if it is 0, we cannot move it. So current index is 0. You see that it goes in then mode and the code finishes, right? So this is all about this. And in my next video, guys, I will be talking about the move down option. Couple of things which are very important for you. So what we did is first we exported the user form items in the array. And then once we have, exported them in the array, we found that which item the index number user has selected in the list box. And that actually is coming from dot list index property. Once we found that, then what we did, because we found that, the index is going to be, let's say this. So we want to put this up and the upper value should take the place of this selection. So access should go in the PHP should go in the axis. And this is what this code is doing. So current index, we already know we subtracted -1 from it. By subtracting -1 from it, we, went to the upper position of the array. And then we said that now this has to come from this list box. So it picked up that value from there. And similarly, because the top value should also go to the bottom. So this is what it says that current index now should be equals to current index -1. So basically what we are doing is here we are subtracting -1 and we are using the same index. Here we are using the same index, and on the right side we are subtracting -1. That's a kind of an interchange we are doing. Once we have set up the array, once we are done with the change, then we exported these values back to the Excel, right? Because this Excel actually, if you remember, this Excel is directly linked with my list box. So if I have any change in the A1 to A6, that change will automatically start reflecting here, right? So if I just go and remove the breakpoint from here, right? And I just go and hide this. Obviously, you have to hide this. You can't show all these things to your user. You can put this anywhere. So now when you run this, everything will happen so quickly. So you move it up, you see that, up, and then again up, and then again up, then again up, then again up, and now nothing will happen, right? Maybe when you are exiting, you can put the message box there that you are already on the top, right? So this is how the code is, guys. Let me just maximize this so you can quickly go and note it down. So that's the entire code for you. Have fun, do the practice, and let me know what you think about it. Now soon in the next video where we're going to talk about the move down option. Thank you so much for watching. Have a fantastic day.